tires. There we go. Welcome everybody to the Esports Racing Network for tonight's NARC Brag and Right Series race here at Fairbury in the Super Late Models. My name is Thomas Brandon. Joining me in the booth is my man Bryce Barris. Bryce, tonight we've got the Super Late Models here at Fairbury, 100 lap A main event. What's it going to take for these guys to come out with the win tonight in this event?
I think this track is going to get super slick. It's going to be an ice rink top to bottom, and it's going to take a lot of throttle control.
I can definitely agree with that. This track is one of those tracks that does get super slick. It's very top dominant, especially at the beginning of the race. It's almost backwards in terms of how other tracks are, especially in real life where you look at them and they go kind of middle and then out. This one starts on the top and then kind of works its way down, and only when the top gets completely blown off. So it'll be interesting to see what the line is and how they're going to work it. But qualifying is just wrapping up. Unfortunately, even though it's been a couple of weeks, still having some technical difficulties. Hopefully, we got them ironed out. But right now, your quick time on the track is Blake Andrews with a 1:1.89, followed by Jake Sonatag, who was off by just 1/100th of a second. Then Brandon Garman, Greg Keppel, Joseph Grandy, Ryan Wagenschitz, Trevor Royer, Joshua Hart, Randy Shreves, and Ken Bory rounding out your top 10. So we do have some payouts for tonight. We'll get to those later on before the A-main event. We'll make the announcement on what those are and what they're going to get and who will get them. But first, we got to get through the heat races. So, 4-car invert for the heat races, 8-lap heats. Top 2 will transfer to the A main event. Then we'll have our 15-lap consolation race and then our 100-lap A main event. Looking at the car count, I believe everybody will be in the feature, so shouldn't be too much of an issue for making the main. Just going to determine where you start. So on the pole, we've got Ken Bory. Outside of Bory is going to be Trevor Royer. Then on the inside of row 2 is Greg Keppel. Outside of Keppel is Blake Andrews. Then in row number 3, we've got Ted York. And outside of York is Justin Sherman. So, like I said, 8 laps. Top 2 will go to the feature. And let's get this party started. All right, pace truck is off, and we are underway.
Green, green, green.
As Bory got a nice jump there over Royer. Royer pushing up the track into the wall. That is something with these cars. If you do not get them going in the beginning, they are really hard to control. As you can see, Blake Andrews already up 2 spots, going for the lead as he throws a nice slide job there, but Bory able to cut underneath and grab the lead back, heading into 3 and 4. Andrews out front and is pulling away. Blake Andrews, one of the better dirt late model drivers here in the National Auto Racing Club. Time and time again, consistently runs up front, and he is showing you exactly why right now.
Looks like we might have a battle for second shaping up between Sherman and Keppel. Keppel's running the high side and just able to keep the momentum.
Sherman just scraped the wall there in 1 and 2, and that cost him some speed. As you will see these guys pound this cushion for the majority of the night until it slicks off. White flag is out for Blake Andrews as he's got himself about a 3-second lead over second place right now. Out of turn 4, your winner for heat race number 1 is going to be Blake Andrews, followed by Greg Keppel, grabbing that second and final transfer spot here in heat race number 1. So strong showing from Andrews out of the block as he got that lead early and then just pulled away from the rest of the field. So that'll put him in a good place for our 100 lap A main event. All right, heat race number 2 lining up on the track. And it didn't take long for our overlays to screw up. All right, we got through one heat race. So on the pole is going to be Glenn McTavish with Joshua Hart, who is outside. Then it's going to be Joseph Grandy and Jake Sonatag in row number 2 with Jeremy Prey and Julian Valdez in row number 3.
With the 4-car invert and only taking 2 to the feature, it really makes that number, the fastest qualifier, have to work to get in.
Yes, it does. Andrews was able to get up front early in that last heat race. We'll have to see if Sonatag can do the same
Green,
thing
green,
here in
green.
heat race number 2 as we are underway. Sonatag with a little bit of trouble into the wall there, and that's going to cost him some time. He didn't lose any positions, but he definitely lost some ground to the leaders as McTavish and Hart able to pull away slightly as Grandy all over Hart's backside for that second and final transfer spot. Sonatag looking to the middle. Doesn't look like there's anything quite there yet on the track as he now goes to the high side, seeing if he can get around the outside of Grandy out of turn 4, and he does. So Sonatag up to third place now as he looks to see if he can pull in the 058 of Joshua Hart, who is running in second place. That final transfer spot here in heat race number 2. Sonatag looking to the inside of Hart, and he's gonna get it there as he pulls ahead, heading into 3 and 4. But Hart does have the dominant line up top, and he is able to drive back around and take that position from Sonatag. Sonatag trying to make that middle lane work, and it's just not quite there yet. As Hart, oh, and there's a little bit of contact there. Luckily, these cars have got fenders, and that's what you use them for. As Sonatag then proceeds to make sure that the wall is still standing in 1 and 2 as they come out of 4. Your winner in heat race number 1, Glenn McTavish, followed by Jake Sonatag, Joshua Hart, Joseph Grandy, Julian Valdez, and Jeremy Prey.
I can confirm that the wall here, you cannot knock it down. I've tried.
No, you can't. Not only can you not knock it down, but apparently if you touch it, it will literally grab on and hold you to it. Or at least
I like
that's how it feels for me.
I like the orange stripe in between 3 and 4. That one always likes to pull me into it.
Yeah, there's a couple of spots on here that I've definitely bounced off of more than once. All right, heat race number 3 on the track, on the pole, and the 21 car is going to be Bruce Klingen. Outside of Klingen is Randy Shreves. Then in row number 2, we've got Brandon Garman and Ryan Wagenschutz. And riding shotgun in the 5th position is Wade Fields.
Looks like Wade forgot to take the headlights out of his car.
Well, sometimes you leave them on there. I left mine on.
Green flag, green
And we
flag.
are underway as Klingon gets a nice jump there, jumps out to the lead. Oh, and it looks like there's contact with third, fourth, and fifth place, and that's going to send Garmin all the way to the back as him and Shreves got together. Did not see exactly what happened there, but that's going to cost Garmin some spots as we've got a battle for the lead now as Wagonschutz looks to the inside of Klingon in the 21. Wagonschutz going to take the lead there. Wagonschutz, another very good late model driver here in the NARC League. Wagonschutz got that middle line. Looks like it's starting to come in, and he's got it working as he's opened up about a 1.5 second lead over second place. And Bruce Klingon better hold on because he's got a challenger coming for that second and final transfer spot as Randy Shreves is closed in on his rear bumper as we've got just a little more than 2 laps to go.
Looks like Shreves is able to get that middle line working.
Yeah, the
The
hard
top
thing
is-
here is the drive off the corner when you're running that middle line. That top just has so much momentum, and it just takes a while for that to really come in.
It looks like the guys are getting into the wall a little bit more on the top,
Yep,
which is allowing that middle line to come in and work.
it's slicking off, but Ryan Wagenschutz is going to get the win here, and Bruce Klingon will grab that second and final transfer spot, followed by Randy Shreves, Wade Fields, and Brandon Garmin. All right, our consolation is now gridding up. As they grid up, we're gonna switch over really quick for a little bit of a breather. I gotta fix something real quick, and we'll be right back in just a second. All right, we're back. All right. B main on the track. 15 laps. I believe everybody is going to the feature. Am I right on that there, Bryce?
I think so. It looks like there's maybe 15, 16 people.
Yep, so everybody going to the A main tonight. But this will help determine your starting position, which even though there is 100 laps, starting up front is definitely going to help. So, on the pole in the 00 is Justin Shermer. Outside of Sherman is Joshua Hart. Then in row number 2, we've got Randy Shreves and Trevor Royer with Wade Fields and Joseph Grandy in row number 3. Then it's going to be Ted York and Julian Valdez in row number 4 with Brandon Garmin and Ken Borey in row number 5. And in the 11th position is Jeremy Prey.
I love how plain Sherman's paint jobs all are.
Yeah, in fact, the one that he's got on the late model right now is actually a little too flashy for him.
Yeah, it's got a lot of flair to it.
All right, we are
Green flag, green
underway.
flag.
And it looks like Brandon Garmin and Trevor Royer had a little bit of a contact there. Gonna send them to the tail end of the pack, but back up front, Justin Sherman's got the lead over Randy Shreves right now. Followed by Joshua Hart, Ted York, Joseph Grandy, and Jeremy Prey, who's moved up 5 spots. Oh, Hart looked for a little cut down there as York was sliding up, and a little bit of a toucher is going to cost him a couple spots. York running that middle line. Oh, and he gets together there with Grandy. Oh, and he's going to flip it up into the wall. And like I said, when you touch that thing, it sucks you in. Unfortunate break there for Ted York. Back up front, it's Justin Sherman with a 1.2 second lead over Randy Shreves. Sherman just pounding that cushion still as Shreves going right through the middle. Julian Valdez in the 17s moved up 4 spots as he's one of the only guys down on that bottom, and he seems to have got it working. As him, Wade Fields, and Jeremy Prey all running the bottom half of the track.
Him and Wade have been running side by side all the way up through here.
They're battling for that 4th place position right now. Fields, a little bit of momentum coming out of the corners, but it looks like Valdez gets him going in. That 71 car of Fields got a little bit of hop as he's going through that corner there.
He has entry into, entry in, gets him hopping.
Yep. Back up front, Justin Sherman. As he's now into lap traffic. And he's going to win the B main tonight, followed by Randy Shreves, Joseph Grandy, Julian Valdez, and Wade Fields rounding out your top 5. All right, so up next will be our 100 lap A main event. And for tonight's A main event, excuse me, we've got a couple of different payouts that we're going to be doing tonight for the bragging rights event. Tonight's hard charger, which is going to be put up by our very own Bruce Klingon, will receive $10, and $25 will go to tonight's 3rd place finisher, and that's going to be put up by Jake Sonatag. Also, we're going to have tonight's backup lights winner, and the backup lights winner is the driver who falls back the second most. So I said backup lights, not backup lights and the beep beep sound, right? So this isn't the person who lost the most positions. It's the person who lost the second most positions. So kind of the opposite of the hard charger. They will also receive $10 courtesy of Bruce Klingon and the Braggin' Rights series. So,
man, I should have ran this one. I can drop back through a pack like no other.
Yeah, especially in a late model. So,
yeah.
Drivers are going to be getting ready for the A main event. We're going to take a really quick intermission, and we will be right back with our 100 lap feature here at Fairbury. So, don't go anywhere. right, so our A main event is now gridding up on the track. Keep in mind with those payouts, it's just like the previous ones where you do have to be eligible. Remember, eligibility means that you have raced at least half of the events. So counting tonight would be 5 events, a minimum of 5 events. So we'll talk more about those drivers as we get to the conclusion of tonight's feature. But Pace Truck is on the track, and we are now underway as we've got Blake Andrews on the pole with Glenn McTavish outside. Row number 2, it's going to be Ryan Wagenschutz with Greg Keppel. Then in row number 3, Jake Sonntag with Justin Sherman. Then it's going to be Bruce Klingen and Joseph Grandy, followed by Randy Shreves and Wade Fields. And it's Brandon Garmer and Trevor Royer, Ted York, Jeremy Prey, Joshua Hart, Ken Borey, and Julian Valdez, starting in the 17th position.
It's going to be a lot of just holding on and putting laps in early.
Yes, it is, as we've got 100 laps around this track, and we are underway as Andrews gets himself a nice jump to start the feature, as Wagenschutz able to move up quickly into that number 2 position. Looks like McTavish had a little bit of trouble there, got stuck on the wall, opened up the door there for Keppel to look to the inside as he's going to try to grab that 3rd place position, as we've got 3 wide in the middle of the pack here.
All right, man. Caution is out.
And that's going to bring out a caution. Looked like Klingen just tapped the wall there, and then Shreves came up and came right across his nose. So tough break for Randy Shreves there.
It didn't even really look like they got together that hard, but with the fender,
No,
it just
it
holds on
didn't.
to you and hooks
Yep.
it.
Doesn't take much in these cars, unfortunately.
If they cut those fenders off, they'd go a lot faster.
Maybe. I don't know. With the fenders, they seem to go faster than the big blocks. Huh.
That's true. I mean, they're called mud turtles for a reason, right?
That's right. All right, we are back underway as Blake Andrews, your leader, out in front of Wagenschutz, McTavish, Keppel, and Sonntag, rounding out your top 5. Andrews going right through the middle of the track there. Keppel looks like he got stuck up there on the wall, and it's going to give Sonntag the opportunity as he drives around McTavish, and Sonntag now looking to the inside of Keppel here in 1 and 2 as he's got, looks like, both front wheels in the air off that corner. He looks really hooked up. We'll have to wait and see if that's going to hold through the rest of the race, as we still got 95 laps to go in this 100-lap A main event. Both drivers bouncing off the wall. And in 7th and 8th place, you can see these guys down on the bottom taking a completely different route than the guys up front right now.
The top's definitely getting hard to hit. You can tell when they hit it, they get a whole lot more speed off, and then when they don't hit it, they're fairly slow off of it.
Yes, they are. Right now, the 71 car of Wade Fields apparently someone didn't tell him that he's not supposed to set the car up like a non-wing, as his left front tire has yet to touch the ground, it looks like, for the last 3 laps.
You don't need a left front.
No, you don't. Not when you drive it with the throttle. And right now, it seems to be working for him. He's already moved up 4 spots. He's running in that 7th place position. Him and Valdez both got that bottom working for him right now early on. It'll be interesting to see if they can carry that on through the rest of this race, because we still have a long ways to go, as we've only got 12 laps down with 88 to go here at Fairbury.
Setting up for the bottom almost seems like the safer thing to do, just because you don't have to worry about getting sucked up into the fence.
That is true. You know, you can get that bottom to work, especially for the second half of the race. You will definitely be a lot more comfortable than trying to hit that top. But as they run that middle and bottom, it's going to kick up more and more marbles up to that cushion. You'll see that cushion start to build back up. As you can see here, the number 3 car of Jake Sonntag has got that top working. He's enjoying all them cars running the bottom and the middle. It's giving him a fresh new cushion to work with up there on the high side here, as he has tracked down the 66 of Wagenschutz and is looking to get around him for that 2nd place position. Sonntag on the top side, and he gets around Wagenschutz, and that's going to give him the 2nd place spot. Now we'll have to see if he can close in that 1.5 second lead that Andrews has over him for that 1st place spot. And he's got a little more than 80 laps to do it. So a long ways still to go here in this 100-lap main event.
Wagenschutz has Sherman all over his
no.
tail.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
And we just went to see how the number 18 car of Brandon Garman was doing, as he had moved up a total of 6 positions and just got spun there, and the caution flag came out.
Garmin can't seem to buy a break in this series. It seems like everything that can go wrong is going wrong for him.
All right, so with 20 laps in the books, your leader is Blake Andrews, followed by Jake Sonntag, Ryan Wagenschutz, Justin Sherman, and Greg Keppel rounding out your top 5, with Trevor Royer all the way up to 6th position. He's moved up 9 spots so far, so Royer definitely coming on strong, with Brandon Garman, Wade Fields, Julian Valdez, Bruce Klingon, Jeremy Prey, Josh Hart, McTavish, York, Borey, and Grandy. All right, double file restart. And we are back underway as Andrews goes right back up to that top side with Sonntag and Sherman in tow. Wagenschutz stuck down on the bottom, and the freight train's going by as the top 3 now. All running up on that cushion here. Royer now up to 5th. Moved up 10 spots in that top 5, and he's still got plenty of laps to work with, as we've got another caution on the speedway. Let's see who this was.
Looks like you got one upside down on the front stretch.
Oh, and the 56 car of Ken Borey just tapped and got moved up on the side. And he was able to get it back on all 4 wheels, so we'll have to see if he can get back into the race.
I kind of think that the rollover would cause some damage, but I'm not sure with these cars.
Yeah, these are a little funky. Sometimes, you know, it's weird. You'll hit somebody sometimes, and it's like your whole front end is knocked off, you know, 6 inches, and then you can flip them over like that, and the car's fine. So it just depends.
Crazy cars.
All right, it's Andrews, Sonatag, Sherman, Wagenschutz, and Royers. We are back underway. Sherman and Royer both go to the bottom this time. We've got 3 wide for 3rd place with Wagenschutz, Sherman, and Royer all battling for that 3rd place position. As now the 18 car of Brandon Garman's moved his way up here as he's on the bottom trying to get into that top 5.
To make that bottom work, you have to be absolutely perfect, and if the momentum on the top just carries them right around you if you slip up.
Well, speaking of bottom working, that 90 car of Trevor Royer's got it working as he is up into the 4th place position, looking to put himself on the podium. As he's got the 66 car in his sights, and it looks like he's going to get around him. Wagenschutz running through the middle right now, and it doesn't seem to be enough as he heads back up to the top, and Royer right down on the bottom trying to get that 3rd place position from the 66 car. You can see Royer right up on the wall. And occasionally against it.
I don't
Back
think these cars actually raced if the quarter panel's not knocked out, is it?
Yeah, that's true. Well, the 15 car of Blake Andrews, his car's still looking pretty. But he's got the 3 car of Jake Sonatag all over his back bumper now. Sonatag's trying to get up into that lead. You
I
can
think
hear
Andrews might
Andrews
be
just... What was that?
I think Andrews might be the only car on the track without the deck knocked sideways.
Yeah, it sure looks like it. He's been running a perfect race so far, but that 3 car can't seem to get any separation from him as Sonatag just with the half a second gap there trying to reel in the 15 of Andrews. As we are 37 laps into this 100 lap main event, so still a long ways to go for both Andrews and Sonatag here at Fairbury.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
And just when we were getting to lap traffic, we got a caution on the speedway.
Now that we're about a quarter way through
and
this race.
Valdez just caught that inside tire and flipped it over. Tough break for Julian Valdez.
Who's your pick to come out on top?
Well, in all honesty, I would have picked Blake Andrews to win the race. He's looked strong so far. I don't know if that'll be the case for another, 65 laps, but he would have been my pick starting on the pole. Like I said, he's one of the best late model drivers we've got in the league, so he'd have been my pick.
Yeah, I have to say he wins a lot, that's for sure.
He does. But don't count out Sonatag. He's very good in these cars.
Green flag.
And we still
green
got a
flag.
long ways to go. Trevor Royer now down on the bottom after that caution. He's caught back up with the leaders. Looking to see if he can get into that top 3. As Andrews, Sonatag, and Sherman all on that top side with Royer down on the bottom. Oh, and it looks like
Caution is out.
the 18 of Brandon Garman just spun there.
It's crazy how fast the top came back. It went away for just a few laps there, and it's back already.
Tough break for Garmin, as it looks like he might have been a victim of some netcode there. 38 of Keppel didn't seem to actually touch him, and he got spun there. So tough break for the 18. But luckily, we still got more than 50 laps to go, so he'll have his chance to work his way back up to the front. If you are new to the ESRN broadcast, please pay no attention to the final lap sign that you see in the top left. That is incorrect. I would like to once again thank SDK Gaming Overlays for our superb presentation. And we are underway. One good thing about a quarter-mile track is cautions are brief. Sherman now looking to the inside, and we've got another caution on the speedway. Oh, and it looks like some guys just checked up there in the 117 of Jeremy Prey, had nowhere to go and just got into the back of him and spun around. So tough break for Prey there, as he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. All right, single file restart, and we are back underway. Andrews right back up to the top where he's been the first 42 laps of the race so far.
The top three are definitely staying neck and neck with each other right now.
Yes, they are, and you can see Andrews and Sonatag each with a little bit of a different line. Andrews running more of a little bit of a cut down there on the exits coming out of turns 2 and 4, as Sonatag seems to be following that high side all the way around. Now Andrews stayed up top all the way around that time. Must have noticed Sonatag closing in on him. There's a little bit of grip up there coming off that corner, as we are just now past the halfway point of this 100 lap feature here at Fairbury. Andrews has led every lap of the race so far here in the NARC Bragging Rights Series presented by Garmin Properties, as he's got 48 laps left to go to bring home the win here in this 100 lap feature. Every time we've caught the lap traffic so far, We've had a caution come out, and it looks like they're about to catch up to it again as we've got 3 wide racing right in front of the leaders.
It'll be interesting to navigate through traffic.
Yes, it will, as we've got Bory, Prey, and McTavish all running side by side. Andrews goes up top. Sonatag looks to the inside, but nowhere to go. But Sherman now is closed in on the second place car of Sonatag. So Sonatag not just on the attack anymore. He's now on the defense as Sherman closing in on not just Sonatag, but also Andrews. Sherman now up on the high side looking to get around Sonatag. Oh, when he gets into the wall, it's going to cost him a little bit of speed as they touch there. Sonatag comes up in front of the 00. Sherman had nowhere to go. And as these two are battling out, it's given Andrews a chance to pull away. Oh, and we got a wreck right in front of the leaders. And luckily, it looks like Andrews is going to get through there with just a little bit of body damage. That was a close call. Man, close call there for not only Sonatag, but also, or for Andrews, but also Sonatag, as that wreck was right in front of him. Looks like Andrews, though, is going to have just some body damage, but that's okay. He just joins everybody else in the club.
This little track, you don't need all your body panels.
No, it's okay.
It's like
Downforce doesn't make that big of a difference here.
Yeah, it's like Bristol. You don't really need all your body panels.
Nope, you're good. You're fine.
You're missing half the front end of the car. You'll be all right.
All right, pace truck is off, and we are ready to get back underway as we are coming to lap 59 here.
Green, green, green.
Royer now up to third as Sherman went down to the bottom, opening the door for the number 90 car to get around on the high side as he is now put it on the podium with 40 laps to go here in this 100 lap main event. But don't look too quickly because Sherman looking to get back around, and we've got a caution on the track. Oh.
Oh.
Tough break there as York went down to the bottom, and it looks like he got into the 71 there of Fields, and Fields appears to have got the brunt of it.
It almost looked like that tractor tire might have grabbed a hold of him.
Yeah, it did, and it looked like those two cars in front of him got together. He kind of checked up and went down low to avoid it, and then once he was down there, he had nowhere else to go, and that was all she wrote. That inverse banking coming out of turn 4 can launch you when you hit it just right. All right. Riding along with our leader here as we are coming to lap 62, 38 laps ago. Green flag, and we are underway, and Andrews right back up top.
Sherman gets back around Royer there. It seems to be that guy that starts on the inside in the second row doesn't get back up to the top in time.
No, he doesn't. Up into 5th position is Bruce Klingen. Klingen not known for his late model driving, but he is having a solid performance so far tonight as he finds himself in the top 5. Everybody's moved back up to that high side here. As Andrews still in the lead, trying to hold off Sonatag in the 2nd place position. Sonatag closing the gap. Sonatag looks like he might be just a little bit faster in a couple parts of the corner, but Andrews able to stay out in front and pull away there, especially on that exit. Sonatag seems to close that gap there in the middle, and Andrews pulls away on the exit of the turns.
They're running pretty close lap times.
Yes, they are within a 1/10 of one another. We've got 30 laps to go here. And the top 2 have really separated themselves. These 2 cars seem to be the 2 to beat. As the 15 of Andrews has led since the drop of the green flag. Sonatag's moved up a couple of spots, got into 2nd, and has been all over the back bumper of Andrews since he got to that number 2 position back in the early stages of this race. If we stay green, it looks like the leaders are going to catch up with that lap traffic for the last quarter of the race, as we've got 25 laps to go this time by. Sonatag looks to the inside. Going to try the bottom out to see if he can get around Andrews. He's got a little bit of a cushion to 3rd place, so he can try some different lines. Oh, and Royer throws a slide job and is able to get in front of the double zero of Sherman there and grab that 3rd place position. Royer, who's moved up 12 spots so far, is now on the podium. As we've got just a little bit more than 20 laps to go, and we've got a battle shaping up here for 5th place as you've got Klingen and Keppel side by side. Now is Sherman looking to throw a slide job in front of Royer, and he does. Slides up Royer, able to cut underneath though on the exit of 2. Sherman gave it a shot but was not able to make it stick as Royer saw it coming and cut underneath there at the apex of the corner.
It seems like Royer is definitely the most consistent finisher across all the cars that we've seen.
Yeah, he does seem to be up front every single week, no matter what car it is we're running.
And he always seems to have to work his way up. It's like he gets in the car and does a couple laps, and then as the race goes on, he just figures it out and starts moving his way up.
Oh, with just 17 laps to go, Andrews feeling the heat from Sonatag in that 3 car. Sonatag was still looking for a way to get around the leader, and has yet to find one. As lap after lap, these guys are within just a couple hundredths of one another. Andrews and Sonatag both now in lap traffic as we've got just 12 laps to go. We're getting to the final stages of this 100 lap A main event. So far, Andrews led every single lap from drop of the green flag. Oh, and Andrews touches a car there. Gets it sideways and is able to save it. Nice save by Andrews, but that gives Sonatag the chance to close in on him. Another close call dodged by the 15 as we've got 8 laps to go this time by. Sonatag looking to the bottom, seeing if he can find something down there, some way around the 15 of Andrews, and it's just not there. Andrews has been running that cushion all race long, and it's just got the car dialed in.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
Oh, and we've got a caution on the speedway. Oh, and the 21 of Klingen got into the wall there, and the 38 got into the back of him. Tough break for Klingen as he had been running up in the top 5 and was having an awesome race in a car that he's not known for racing.
I don't think I've ever seen him in a late model.
He's ran him a couple times before. Doesn't run him a lot.
So if you're
All right, man.
Sonatag, what's your
Like
strategy
back on
to
the pace car.
try to
We're
get
not
around
going
Andrews here?
Well, when we go green, it's going to be 5 laps to go. Really, the only way I can see Sonatag getting around Andrews here is he's got to have a phenomenal jump and go for an early slide job. If he lets Andrews set up and get into rhythm, I don't think he's going to get around him. Short of
It's not like
Andrews, having an issue, which I don't see happening.
it's not like he can go to the bottom because he's got Royer right behind him.
Yep, and he's been trying to go to the bottom, and it hasn't been working.
Green flag. Green flag.
Well, the jump that Sonatag needed, he did not get. Sonatag closes in as we've got just a couple laps left here. Looks for the middle. Nothing there. As Andrews pulls back out in front. We got 1 lap to go this time by. Andrews, who's led every single lap from the drop of the green flag, and is gonna pull it off as he gets the win here at Fairbury in the NARC Bragging Rights Series event presented by Garmin Properties. So, Blake Andrews with the win, followed by Jake Sonatag and Trevor Royer rounding out your top 3 with Justin Sherman, Greg Keppel, Ryan Wagenschutz, Bruce Klingen, Joshua Hart, Brandon Garmin, and Joseph Grandy rounding out your top 10. So awesome race for Blake Andrews as he gets the win here at Fairbury. Good finish for Jake Sonatag. Really good night looks like for Trevor Royer as 3rd place tonight in tonight's feature is going to be getting $25 plus $10 for the hard charger. So it looks like Royer, who is eligible, Going to be bringing home $35 for tonight's third place finish. So hats off to him. Not only did he get a podium, but he got the Hard Charger Award as well. All right, so let's see if we can get tonight's winner here in the booth with us. Blake, you led every single lap from the drop of the green flag. Tell me, what was your strategy at the beginning of the race, and what were you doing there towards the end to hold off Jake Sonatag to pull off the win?
Yeah, at the start of the race, there was a little bit of tackiness just everywhere, especially in the middle. So the first like couple laps, I was running the middle, and I saw Jake get around a second, and I was stuck behind 2 lap cars, and that's when I knew I had to move up to the faster line, which was a high side. So I moved up there, caution came out, and then from there I was just on the top, just trying to hold them off.
Well, you were definitely able to hold them off, and you ran the top to absolute perfection tonight. In fact, your car wouldn't have had a scratch on it if it wasn't for a couple of close calls with the lap cars. What were you thinking when you had those when you had those close calls during the race?
I was just, hoping for the best. Hopefully, I wouldn't make contact or screw them up, or hopefully they wouldn't make contact and screw me up. It was just trying to pick your way through there and make the best move at the right time.
Well, you definitely made the best moves tonight. Like I said, you led every lap of this 100 lap A main event and were able to bring home the win. So, hats off to you. Awesome job. Before we let you go, do you got any family, friends, sponsors you want to thank?
I want to thank my mom and whoever else is watching, SSR for putting these things on, you for broadcasting, and Bryce for broadcasting, and that's pretty much it.
All right, man. Well, congratulations to you. A nice win tonight, and we'll hopefully talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right, that was Blake Andrews, your winner, and finishing second in tonight's A main event is Jake Sonatag. Jake, you moved your way up to second place there pretty early on in the feature, and then you spent the next 80 plus laps trying to get around the 15 car. What were you trying to do there, and what what could you what couldn't you find there on the track to get around that 15 car?
I think Blake was just so consistent. Early in the race there, when I was getting up on him, I was just trying to stay patient so early in the race there. But yeah, he was running that little cut down line, so it was kind of hard to throw anything a slider there at the end there. I tried the bottom for a few laps, but yeah, he was just a better car tonight. I felt comfortable sitting behind him tonight, I guess.
Well, you had an awesome race, man. A couple of close calls there with you and Blake and some lap cars that you were able to get through and bring home a second place finish. So hats off to you. Before we let you go, do you got any sponsors, friends, or family you want to thank?
I just gotta thank all you guys that put this on, all the NARC members, and um, yeah, all the teammates and everything that help put this on, and yeah, basically just them.
All right. Well, second place finished in tonight's 100 lap A main event. Awesome job tonight, Jake. And hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
Yep. All right. That was Jake Sonatag, your second place finisher. And joining us now, your third place finisher and hard charger, Trevor Royer. Trevor, we were talking about it. You're not really a dirt late model guy, but you had an awesome run out there tonight. What was your plan coming into this 100 lap main event, and how were you able to execute it out there on the track?
Well, I felt completely terrible in my qualifying run and in my heat and in the B main. And like the practice I ran earlier today, I felt for some reason I just felt so much more comfortable in the slick. And I knew I needed that top to be slickened off and the race to slow down quite a bit for me to be able to get some speed on these guys. Just pretty much went where they weren't the whole way up the field. Ran the bottom some, the top. kind of stalled out there when I got to fourth. Um, Me and Justin had a pretty good battle for third, trading sliders back and forth. That was pretty fun. But yeah, who was that? Sonatag and Andrews. They were. I had nothing for those two. I was just that last green flag run before the yellow. I didn't want that yellow. I was kind of content running in third. I had a nice gap on Sherman to where he couldn't really put a move on me. And it's hard. It takes me a couple laps in these cars to like get into a rhythm. So I was kind of worried he'd he'd be able to get close enough to make a move, but he wasn't, and we were able to hold on for third. So that was pretty cool.
Well, you had an awesome run tonight, man. Tonight we had the hard charger getting $10, which you were the hard charger, and third place was getting 25. So it looks like, unofficially, from what I'm seeing, you're gonna bring home $35 tonight and a third place finish. So overall, man, awesome run tonight.
Yeah, I definitely lucked out on that one. They announced those two things before the race started, and my main goal was just I was like, if I keep it clean, I could probably be hard charger. I didn't really know where I'd end up in there when I got towards the front, but that's awesome. $35, 100 laps of work on iRacing. I'll take that.
Yep, awesome run tonight, man. Putting it on the podium, and yeah, hopefully we'll get to talk to you soon. So before I let you go, do you got any family, friends, sponsors you want to thank?
Oh yeah, want to thank my team, Black Diamond Motorsports, Ultimate Dirt TV, 19 Designs, Tim's Dirt Track Simulators, everyone involved in SSR, all the admins that put this on every week, every day of the week almost. You, Tommy, and Bryce for commentary. Hope we put on a decent show for you guys. I know track got pretty one lane at the end, but it was still pretty entertaining from the driver's seat anyway. So thank you. Thanks again, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. It was a fun show to watch, and race turned out good, and so yeah, good run tonight, and we'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, Tommy, thank you.
Yep, have a good one.
You too.
All right, that was Trevor Royer, your third place finisher and hard charger of the race. So once again, your winner tonight, Blake Andrews with Jake's on a tag and Trevor Royer rounding out your podium. And then we've got Justin Sherman and Greg Keppel rounding out the top five with Ryan Wagenschutz, Bruce Klingen, Joshua Hart, Brandon Garman, and Joseph Grandy rounding out your top 10 with Jeremy Prey, Ted York, Ken Borey, Glenn McTavish, Randy Shreves, Wade Fields, and Julian Valdez. Now, our Backup Lights Award winner. I'm not going to announce it because we actually have two drivers who tied for that, and so I do not know how the tiebreaker is going to work for that. So I don't want to announce it and be wrong, but yes, one of those drivers will be bringing home the other award for tonight's event. So, anyways, that's going to do it for the NARC Bragging Rights Series race here from Fairbury, presented by Garmin Properties. My name is Thomas Brandon, with me Bryce Barris. This is the Esports Racing Network. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will be back, I believe, next week. I probably should have looked at the schedule before I said anything,
Yeah,
but
it
I
looks like
believe it's next week.
UMP's at Cedar Lake next week.
There we go.
50
So
lap.
we'll be back next week with the UMP modifieds at Cedar Lake. So until then, as always, take care.